it's me. I hit a plateau. When I'm not losing weight, what's the point of suffering and struggling and whatever else? So what did I do? I'll tell you. Reaching a plateau is very natural. It's a normal occurrence. Your body simply does not like to lose weight. Initial loss can be dramatic, but then your body gets comfortable. It starts to adapt to what you're doing. Your weight loss will eventually slow down and eventually stop. So, first you need to figure out what's happening to your body and why is it that you've stopped losing weight, even though you've maintained a consistent lifestyle with your diet and exercise. You need to ask yourself a number of questions. Calorie intake, exercise, water intake, weight loss. Weight loss? Huh? Did you know? Well, actually, I would say weight loss goes in conjunction with calorie intake. Huh? The less you weigh, the less calories you need to function. So, calorie intake. Am I getting too many or too little calories? Your exercise. It's very hard to start running a mile. When you first start jogging, that first mile is tough. It's like when you first start driving, that first 500 miles is hard. But you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and it gets easier and easier and easier. Your endurance builds up. It's the same thing when you're jogging a mile. The first time you do it, it's hard. The second time you do it, it's difficult. The third time you do it, it's not as difficult, and it becomes just a way of life. The easier it becomes, your body has adapted to it as a way of life, meaning the less calories you burn in order to do that mile. So with your exercise, you need to ask yourself, do I need to adjust the frequency? Do I need to adjust the duration? Or do I need to adjust the regularity or the... Now when you first start a diet, you follow it to the T. You're like, gung-ho, I'm going to master this. Oh yeah. And then what happens? The week goes by, time goes by. You start getting comfortable. You start getting lazy. You stop working so hard at it. And then what happens? You stop losing weight. You start slacking. For your water intake, you maybe start drinking some sodas here and there, some fruit juices here and there, whatever. Empty calories, high in sodium drinks. What happens when that happens? You start retaining water. You start taking in calories that you're not taking account for. Increase your water intake. Make sure you're getting what you're recommended. It's not that hard. Just go back and revisit it. Get your daily water intake. Don't slack off on your water. Water flushes your system. It gets those toxins out. That's what's going to help you lose weight. So, with that being said, how do I get past my plateau? What did I do to get past my plateau? First, I check to make sure, because I keep track of my calorie intake, and I'm telling you, I can't stress how important that is. If you don't know what you're taking in, you can't really complain that you've hit a plateau, because you could be making all the wrong mistakes and not even know it. So get that Lose It app I keep telling you about. I mean, there's no excuse for it nowadays. Keep track of what you're eating, especially if you're trying to be on some sort of program. I checked my calorie intake to make sure it was proper. And one thing that you really need to make sure for is to make sure that your calories burned is more than your calories brought in. So my calorie output should be higher than my calorie input, right? Okay, the more you burn, the more you're going to lose. The more you bring in, the more you're going to gain, so to speak. All right, now, one thing that I thought was brilliant was, so I read someplace that they recommended you increase your calorie intake. And I was like, increase my calorie intake? And they said basically what you're going to do is you're going to trick your body into thinking it's secure and that you're getting the proper intake of calories and blah, blah, blah. And then after 3 days, once your body is feeling comfortable and adjusting to the calorie intake, you're going to go back to your weight loss calorie intake that you've designated for yourself. Me, myself, is 1,300 to 1,400 calories. That's what I've distinguished is through this time and through these trials and whatever and experiments, 13 to 14 is what I need to feel full all day long. And like I told you before, I fill up in the morning for breakfast and I try to maintain that fullness throughout the day. And I found that I'm able to maintain that fullness with an average calorie intake of about 1,300 to 1,400. Sometimes I go a little bit more, sometimes I go a teeny bit less. And some days I have a hell of a time trying to cram that much food into me. But I make it work, whether it be sticking to protein shakes or whatever the case may be. In one of my previous vlogs, I mentioned about how I was trying to get increase in protein. My wonderful friend Phyllis, hey girl, how are you? She recommended New Whey protein. This right here, it's 3.8 fluid ounces. It's 180 calories, 42 grams of protein. That's a good way to increase your protein. Because me personally, I'm trying to do a low calorie, high protein. So I'm trying to get as much protein as I possibly can in my diet without increasing my calories too much. And so I've increased my protein. Also, I've had to make some adjustments to my exercise routine because I was just pretty much walking. I wasn't really pushing myself. I was just getting out and walking. And that's part of the reason why my plateau happened, was because I was not pushing myself. Your body gets used. It's just like your food intake. Your body gets used to it, adapts, and then, you know, you don't need as many calories to do that anymore. So you stop burning as many calories as you were in the beginning. For me personally, what I did was I continued my walking throughout every day I walk. And then when I was at home, I would literally take that as my rest time. And whatever I would do on my days off, I would just count laundry and shopping and running errands as my exercise. But it wasn't cutting it. Because I'm one of those people, I'm home every weekend. So when I'm in town, I go to roller skating, or I'll go to the gym, or if I'm on the road and I'm taking a 34-hour reset, I'll search out a motel or hotel with a fitness room, Expedia.com. So that's pretty much how I boosted up my exercises. I just make myself get out and do something. Whether it be, you know, taking a taxi someplace to go do something, or whatever the case may be. You know, try to change it up, try to do whatever. I hope you keep plugging away. I hope you keep trying. I hope you keep doing the right thing. Keep exercising, because one thing, if nothing else, make sure, I mean, as long as you're eating healthy and you're inundating your system with the proper things, if you hit a plateau, it's no big deal. Don't let it get you down, because it's not worth it. Keep up the good work. Toodles.